The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission chairperson, Archbishop Eliud Wabukala, says the fight against graft has been left to the EACC to deal with it alone. Wabukala, who was speaking at the launch of the joint EACC and faith-based organizations collaboration framework, MOU, notes that his first 100 days at Integrity Center have been to study the culture and integrate it with the system before engaging many public events. NTV's Leila Mohammed has been following the proceedings and now joins us live with a press conference from the Pan-Africa Hotel. Let's listen in.
Since you came into office, we have not really seen you in the public sphere. What have you been doing in the last 100 days?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for coming to this event. And the theory of 100 days is something that I think is not part of what I subscribe to. When you join an organization, it has its own context. And so when I was joining the EACC, it has a culture and a context, which I had to get in and understand. For the last 90 days or so, a lot has happened. It took our time to understand the culture of where we were, the people, for them also to understand me. But at the same time, a lot of work happened. We have created stability in the Secretariat. We have done a lot of work which I have reported in the main fora. The prosecutions we have had, the vetting process is going on, building synergy and partnerships. Like today we have signed a memorandum of understanding. All these things were happening. They cannot just happen in a day. They happened straight away from January. I entered the office, started this work, and now we have the background from which we shall go on.
Some of the international donors have already pulled out of Kenya because they have lack of confidence in accountability in some of our public organizations. How are you struggling to deal with the issue of corruption within government and to assure international donors that their money is going into the correct pockets?
I think there are necessary procedures that we have put in place. We are focusing on preventive methods, and in which case we are helping institutions with their structures to ensure that loopholes that exist that bring corruption are sealed. We are also active on the part of prosecution and ensuring that people who take corruption or do unethical practices are under the law taken care of. I want to assure each and every person that indeed we are asking every person to be accountable. I think it's not true that every place donors are running away. We might say of a few places, but not everywhere. There is a lot of work going on in the Commission and our partners, including the civil society, the religious sector, and even government themselves. They are purposely engaged in ensuring that corruption is not in their systems.
Last October, EACC promised Kenyans 30 days in which to conduct investigations and give a full report to Kenyans and the DPP in regards to the Afya House scandal, where 5 billion shillings was supposedly stolen from the ministry. Where are we at as of today, 8 months later?
Well, I think first of all, I want you to underscore the fact that corruption cases, especially those involving a lot of money, are not just things you can investigate today and tomorrow you have an answer. You can notice we still have Anglo-leasing cases in court. We still are having Golden Back. Today I actually read about it still surfacing. And therefore, this case which you are referring to has, as I looked at the files, it has international dimensions. When the money is taken here, it is taken all over. And our people had to go to do that. And that is being done. It could not be finished within those 30 days because of these international linkages. You should appreciate the fact that people who steal a lot of money have networks, and they also try to see how to hide this money. I'm grateful today that the systems that have been set are sending a lot of fear to those who take money. That's why you see some of them are hiding money in their houses, under the mattresses, because they cannot go to the banks and they cannot do anything with them. So we want to create that kind of situation where corruptly received money is not enjoyed. It gives people sleepless nights, and before they do all the international connections, we are creating a situation where we do disruptions. Like I said, we have had 1.6 billion disrupted, and that has saved Kenyan people that kind of money. So all the work connected with all these big scandals under my watch will be delivered. We shall have to watch it to ensure that we have these things dealt with. Yes.
Just a question. During your statement, you had talked about the number of candidates, political candidates who submitted their declaration rather than seeking their clearance. But there is a major concern, especially for some specific candidates. If I may mention someone like Murkomen and someone like Eliud, already they have been mentioned in the NYS scandal, and Parliament also gave a recommendation. Yet again, they have been nominated by Kenyans, which is also a concern for EACC. I really don't know what you have to say about that. Then secondly, what will happen when there's a lot of political interference when it comes to clearing some of these candidates who have integrity issues? How are you going to handle that?
Well, I think my meeting today with the religious leaders is one way of trying to address the culture that we have in Kenya. A culture where we glorify those who have stolen, those who have ethical issues among us. I think we have to get back to the grassroots, to the moral issues that we have, and get support from every Mwananchi to notice that when they do what they have done, they are creating leadership that will give them problems. Now, we receive forms, declaration forms, and in those forms, there are questions which each person answers. It will be asked whether you have fought with anybody, whether you have been imprisoned, whether, and then you will say yes or no. Now, when we have received that, we shall then get a template to say, you are candidate so-and-so, according to us you have no issue, or we have issues with you on ABC. Now, our purpose is just to do that and take it to the IEBC, who will then look at those issues and see, are they serious enough to warrant refusal of somebody to participate. But we are doing our part to ensure also this data is kept properly. In the future, I can assure you, a Kenyan will come and look at those things and ask some of those people to be accountable.
All right, we're having a small challenge with the signal from the Pan-African Hotel. We'll try to get back there, but that is the chair of the EACC, Eliud Wabukala, holding a press conference.
Yeah, I have a question. I had two, but she has addressed one, so I have one. You have a civic education plan for the Wananchi on how they can address matters to do with corruption, and as you say, there's a self-declaration form that the aspirants are supposed to fulfill. So when you're going about this civic education, how are you going to plan to be impartial as EACC without being seen to be interfering or misleading Kenyans to vote?
Well, I think what we have started today is not something that you can do during the election time. I can assure you, perhaps we cannot do very much now. This next three months. But we are setting a process of many years. It's a strategic plan that we have created as EACC that runs from 2017 to about 2021. So what I'm saying is going to involve each one of you, even yourselves, the media. We are going to be very helpful. We have got to do that so that every sector of Kenya, professional bodies, our schools, parents, all these people will be part of our approach to reach them. So political climate or no political climate, for us, that's not our concern, because we are looking a way forward. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my brothers, thank you so much.
Well, Ken Mijingo, you have just heard from retired Archbishop Eliud Wabukala there, speaking about his 100 days or so in the EACC, and he insists that it is not about the number of days that he has been in office, but the kind of strategies that he has been using to ensure that work within the Integrity Center goes as smoothly as possible. He has also insisted that it is not only the duty of the EACC to tackle issues of corruption in the country, and has also mentioned that within his tenure he will be in a position to ensure that big fish who have been vindicated for corruption cases will be properly taken to court, and the rule of law will be able to happen. So this was a report given by Eliud Wabukala, as well as the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the EACC and faith-based organizations to start a framework to ensure that from the grassroots level they can be able to deal with the issue of corruption as fast as possible. But the media, as well said by the MD for NTV, Linus Kaikai, said that many cases have been ushered into the public sphere through the media. However, we do not have the possibility of going to prosecute in court, and he gave the EACC the challenge of ensuring that the revolving doors at the Integrity Center are not only there to ensure that those who enter and go out will be, nothing will happen to them, however, that due diligence will be done and justice will happen so that all Kenyans can be able to live a corruption-free life. Back to you, Ken.
Right, Leila Mohammed, thank you very much for speaking to us, and of course for that press conference. And most important also is that Eliud Wabukala says the war on graft is a war for all and should not be sugar-coated. That report from Leila Mohammed, who is still at the Pan Africa Hotel, will also be coming to you a little bit later on.